You're faster for me. I had to go up the mountain.
You good?
The Suncrest and come.
Oh, yeah, that's smart. Okay, we're gonna get started. So if you guys have questions, feel free to stop me and ask me. This might be one of my favorite recipes right now. But then again, I did make taquitos yesterday, and those were the bomb. We're gonna make them next week. Okay, so what we're doing today is a keto lasagna, and everybody asks me, they're like, are you doing the zucchini noodles and all that? For whatever reason, zucchini noodle lasagna didn't sound good to me, so when I found this recipe, I kind of went with it and played with it. Sorry, do we have a glare from the sun? Mm-hmm. So what I'm going to do first is just get started on our hamburger here. So this is just grass-fed hamburger, 1 pound. And oh my gosh, it was so fresh when I was using it earlier. I got this from a new lady that has grass-fed beef, and I will be buying all my grass-fed beef from her. It's awesome. So I have 1 pound of ground beef in here. To that, I'm going to add, I don't know, about 2 tablespoons of bell pepper. I was measuring it out earlier. 1/3 cup of onion, and then all of the seasonings are on the recipe. But we're going to go ahead and add the seasonings to this, and some garlic. And I'm going to start cooking that. If you go get a chef jacket on, you can cook this for me. Go. The chef jacket? Yeah. Go. All right, Becky, I'm going to have you help me cook it when you're done with that. Okay, so what we're going to do here is I'm going to show you how we make the noodle. So easy and so delicious. So I'm going to take 4 ounces of cream cheese and 2 eggs. Now, I have 2 beaters that go to a black hand mixer that's missing, or I have 1 beater that goes to this one. So I'm not really sure what's going on in my house, but I used this earlier and it worked great. So I'm just going to mix this up. You want that cream cheese? Oh yeah. That's the problem of having only 1 beater. You want your cream cheese at room temperature, so make sure it's softened. Once I get that done, I have a whole slew of spices here, and those will be on the recipe, so I'm not going to worry about telling them to you right now. We're going to add that in, and we're going to go ahead and mix that up. And then to that, I'm going to add mozzarella cheese, not melted. This isn't like your fathead dough. And I'm going to add Parmesan cheese. Everybody's got what that looks like there. Just kind of a thick little concoction. And we are going to put that in a parchment paper line. You definitely want parchment paper on this one. We're going to put it on a parchment line, 9 by 13. And then it's going to go in the oven at 375 for about 15 to 20 minutes. Just watch it. You basically want it to look like that in color when it comes out. So a little bit golden brown. And then you're going to take it out. You want it to be almost completely cooled before you start the next process. So even if you made this earlier in the day, or if you made a bunch of these at one time back to back, you could just freeze them so they're ready to roll. So I am going to put this in the oven, 375. Okay, last week we did a video and all my kids are in it and they love it, but I need her to go be ready to be in it. Okay, so we've got this cooking. Can you smell that, by the way? Okay, are you ready, Becky? We're going to start you.
Yeah.
If you're ready.
I'm ready.
Becky's going to be teaching us a marbled cheesecake. We all have had the brownie cheesecake, and there's a lot of recipes out there. I'm really excited to have a new one. Here.
Okay, so if you wanted a little history, you're going to get it. If you didn't, bear with me. My husband and I went through a phase where we were trying to find the perfect cheesecake. We took a whole year. We made all these cheesecakes. And this ended up being one of our favorite, the marbled one. I just switched it and changed it up so it's keto. So So what I did, and I'm making it in a square pan today because that's what I felt like doing. So what this is this is about 3/4 cup of almonds and 3/4 cup of pecans. And I went ahead and just chopped them all up in the food processor. And then to that I added 3 tablespoons of butter, and I added 3 tablespoons of the golden Lecanto monk fruit sweetener. And then I baked that at about 350 for 10 minutes and got it set. I did that for the space of, for time. Okay, so that's all ready to go. Now what this is 20 ounces of cream cheese, so that's 2.5 bricks. And to that I'm going to add 2 eggs and 1 egg yolk. And I'm going to add to that, because with cheesecake you can just kind of throw it all together, right? You don't have to cream the shortening and sugar. To that I'm going to add, I gotta look at my cheat sheet, because I just made it up today.
You're good. While you're doing that, let me show them what I'm going to do now. So this hamburger is all the way cooked. I'm going to add 3/4. I had to measure this out earlier because I wasn't sure I'd have enough after making the other one. I'm going to add 3/4 marinara. Now let me show you. This is my new favorite. I love, love, love it. My sister agrees with me, so if you're watching this, she agrees with me. I got it at Thrive, and what I loved about it is per serving, it's all whole foods, it's all whole ingredients, but per serving it's only 5 net carbs, and that's really good for a marinara sauce. Usually at the store you can't find under 6. You can sometimes, but I love the flavor, so I highly recommend that. So that's going to go on here, and this is just going to simmer for a few minutes, and then we're going to be ready to construct our lasagna.
Where did you find marinara sauce?
Oh, fried.
Right, yep.
Okay, I added a 1/2 cup of, I use the Lecanto monk fruit sweetener, and this is the classic. You could use Swerve, whatever you want. And then to that I'm going to add 1/4 cup of heavy cream and a teaspoon of vanilla. There it is. Sometimes the cream cheese is not cooperative, so we have to stop it and press it down to the blades and encouraging it to get smooth. I like using a food processor because when I just use a mixer like that, it never gets smooth. I end up putting it in a blender. So why not start out with the blender? Cream cheese that are not cooperating.
Do you want me to melt the chocolate?
Yes, that would be awesome. So Jennifer is going to be melting 1/3 cup of Lily's chocolate chips. And we're going to swirl all over the top. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. I don't think I have any stray lumps. So what I'm going to do is just pour this in here. The one thing I forgot to do is I usually like to have a can of water in there. Because what we learned is when we were on our quest for the perfect cheesecake is we were looking for a certain dense texture. And what we discovered is that it's more about the technique than the actual ingredients. Sounds crazy, but I like to put a pan of water just below the cheesecake, And I don't like to set it in the pan because especially if your cheesecake pan wants to leak, so I just put it down below and it works the same.
Trying to have your back to us and we can't hear
Do what?
We couldn't hear. You have your back
Oh,
to us
I'm
and we
sorry.
can't hear what you're saying.
Okay, what I like to do is I like to do a water bath. And what I do is I just fill a cake pan with a little bit of water. I put it on the rack below because when you set the pan in, and especially if it's a springform pan, it gets messy. And I just found it's easier, but that's part of the secret of getting it kind of the texture I like. Because you know how you get those ones at the restaurant and they're really dense and lovely, and then some of the ones you make are kind of more, I don't know, they're lighter, more jello-y or something, even though there's no jello. I don't know how to describe it, but that was part of our quest of trying to find the perfect cheesecake. And we stumbled across a technique in the Death by Chocolate cookbook. And we discovered it wasn't really the chocolate, it was how he cooked it. Okay, so we're going to take this chocolate and we're just going to start dumping it like this. And then get it in the corners there. This little tiny spatula and just swirl it a little bit. And Jennifer probably does a better job of this than I do. You just kind of want to get a little bit of chocolate all over it and kind of make it look marbled. And I think that's going to do.
Good.
And then we'll just put it in the oven. We're going to start at 325 for 20 minutes, and then we're going to lower it to 300 in 20 more minutes. And just do 20 more minutes, so about 40 minutes total.
Okay. And you could do that in a springform pan too?
Yes, you can.
Okay. All right, so the one thing I didn't show you, so when I was growing up, or always, even since I was in college, we'd always put brown sugar in our spaghetti sauce. I really like that. So when I make this lasagna, I add about a tablespoon of the golden Lasagna just into that mixture. And I love this stuff. So when it goes on sale, stock up. I'd say, wouldn't you say once a month or so they do 50% off?
Where?
Huh? Oh, it does? Then I definitely have to order tonight because this is
Where
my
do you
last
get
one. Lacanto.com.
Oh, right at their website.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Conti.com.
Yep.
And it's on sale right now.
Yes, until tonight, 50% off.
Oh, I need to let people know that. Okay, so here's our noodle. It's completely cooled. See this awesome noodle, you guys? These are so good. In fact, I'm thinking you can make it thinner and like stuff it with cheese and roll it up. I'm thinking of all sorts of possibilities. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of my sauce to the bottom. Now, the one I made for us tonight, because I need to feed us and my family and everybody else, I did 3 times the recipe. And so I did a 9x13 pan of it. So I cooked the noodle 3 different times. We're going to go ahead and put one of these noodles in here. When you do a 9x13 and you cut it into thirds, it fits into a loaf pan perfectly. Okay? So then to that, we're going to put about 1/3 of this mixture. Just estimate. Don't get all crazy on me. We're going to do that. And then about 1/4 cup of cheese, mozzarella cheese here. And then ricotta is typically what's in lasagna, right? Ricotta is so high in carbohydrates. So we're going to add 3 tablespoons of cottage cheese. Don't worry about the protein. We will get plenty of fat, I promise you. And I'm just going to kind of use my hand. You can use a spoon. I have gloves, so I use my hand. And then onto that, we're going to put another noodle. Oh, just kidding. We're going to add another 1/4 cup of sauce, and I'm just going to drizzle it over the top of that. You don't have to get crazy with it. another noodle and just repeat the exact same process. So about 1/3 of our meat mixture. Okay. And then we're gonna do about 1/4 cup of mozzarella cheese. My little Abby never came back. I told her to go get an apron on. She didn't like that. Okay. Too bad.
She's camera shy.
No, she's not. She is definitely not that. Okay, and then we're gonna add this right here, but instead of putting just kidding. I'm sorry, I haven't made it enough to know the order of what I'm doing here. Next noodle goes on the rest of our meat mixture. And then top it with your remaining 1/4 cup of cheese. Now, here's the cool thing about this. I'm putting more cheese on that because that needs more. But here's the cool thing is that you can make this ahead of time and throw it in the oven at night. If I put it in right now, which I will, it's only going to take 20 minutes to cook. The other one that I made for us, I put it in this morning, I made it this morning and then just put it to the side. And so I put it in for 20 minutes covered with foil, and then I uncovered it for about 10 or 15 minutes without the foil. Because you want to make sure that you get it good and heat it all the way through. Look at that beauty. So, and then it's a really good idea to let it sit for about 10 minutes before you cut into it to serve it so it doesn't just all flop. If you can serve it warm, you're going to be better off. And that's it. I'm going to put this other one in to bake in case we don't have enough for the fam. One lasagna serves 4 servings, and we actually got 6 out of it one night. They're pretty healthy servings. I haven't figured the macros out on it, but they're going to be fine. Really, your only carbs in here come from the sauce. And let's think about this. If we have 1.5 cups of sauce, that's 15 carbs divided by 4, so it's probably under 4 carbs per serving. So it's not terrible. Maybe a little bit more with the other stuff, 5 at the most. So, Becky, I keep telling her I'm going to show them how to make homemade ranch dressing, and then I totally forgot. You have to make it ahead of time so it can sit. So, what I would do with this as a dinner, I just made it really quick. If you have those organic mixed greens in your refrigerator, how easy is it to pull it out, do that. You can throw little cucumbers on it. I always have avocado oil dressings. These usually need to be ordered or bought in the specialty section. Don't go down the regular section where the mayo is and the salad dressings are. If it says avocado oil, make sure you read it because usually the second ingredient is canola, saf, or sunflower, right? Yeah. Poor Mike. I was at his house going, no, get rid of this. Anyway, any questions? Okay. Super easy, super yummy. Not a hard recipe to make, but you got to plan for it because you need to pre-make your noodle. That's it. I'm thinking it would be super easy to make an even little individual like muffin cups or whatever and freeze them and then just throw them in your toaster oven to heat them up when you want to eat them. Anyway, that's it. Super quick today. We're done.